are going to be dealing with a very important topic in the industry, and it's called Who is a Director? To take this class, hold on as I bring to you a renowned filmmaker in the person of Sir Billy Kings.
Who is a director? A director is a creative leader or personality responsible for bringing a script or story to life on the screen. We get that? A director is a creative leader who is responsible, for bringing a script, your story here there. You hear the participants talking about story here there, to life on the screen. Do we get that now? Yes, they are involved in almost every aspect of the filmmaking process. All the aspects of the filmmaking process, the director is involved. From the pre-production phase through to the final editing. Their job is to translate the written script into a visual story. Do you understand what a visual story is? A visual story. We were asked earlier on what is filmmaking, introduction to filmmaking. That thing you see on your screen, those motion pictures, we are telling stories. So another term for it was a visual story. Visual. I'm talking about visual, the things that you see with your eyes. Are you getting it? Yes, sir. Fine. Okay. Guiding the artistic and technical aspect of it to achieve a cohesive vision. Before we embark on storytelling, there's always a reason why we want to tell that story. There is an audience that we want to tell that story to. There's a purpose for that story. For instance, let's take the story of the emergence of the Benin Kingdom, for instance. We want to tell a story like that. That means there's a particular set of people who want them to know why this story is the purpose for this story. Or maybe they don't even have an idea concerning the emergence of the Benin Kingdom. Now we want to get them informed. Another example is, our people that are born in the diaspora, maybe they are from Benin origin and they don't have an idea of how their kingdom came about. For such persons, that story could mean a lot to them so that they know the emergence of their kingdom, how the kingdom came about. Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
Any question thus far?
Yes,
Any question thus far?
yes,
Okay. Then a director has responsibilities. They have roles. They do this. How do they do their job? What do they do? What does the director do? Number one, has to conceptualize the vision. Some directors are called, when you see a film, say this is a film by so a film by Jeremiah Onoge. That means he's the one who has that concept. He's the owner of that story. He developed that concept. A film directed by is a script that is given to a director for him to direct. Do we get it?
Yes.
Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure you got it. A film by is what?
A film by director Udenji or directed by director Udenji.
A film by director Onoge. What does that mean?
Is the one to direct this movie.
No, he's the one who developed the concept. Everything concerning that movie is from him. From the story idea to development and in fact making that thing to be on screen is from him. Then a film directed by, that means he was either hired, to direct that movie. The script was handed over to him for him to interpret and make it visual. Do we have that understanding?
Yes, sir.
Good. Then one of the roles and responsibility of a film director is to conceptualize. The director interprets the screenplays and decides the overall tone, how that film is going to look like at the end of the day. That's the job of the director. Are you getting it? You were talking about script writing the other time. Have you ever written a script for anybody to direct before?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what happens at the end of the day? It's like the director is telling a different story other than what you told him.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because now the director is giving life to that story. It now determines the tone of that story. Do we get it?
Yes,
If you don't understand, please just stop me. No matter how short the time is, just stop me so that you have understanding of what we're talking about this morning. Then he decides the overall tone, style, and mood of the film. Maybe you have an idea, the story has to be, it's supposed to be an action film from the way you develop that idea. Then the director looked at this story and said, no, we can tone this thing down like this. We can bring this thing down like this. You understand what I'm saying? So he decides how the story is going to look like at the end of the day. Sometimes producer can also, want to suggest. But that is the director that's actually telling the story. Let me use an example that is that we can easily relate with. Maybe I'm telling a story verbally, and I'm just telling you a story verbally concerning how the Oba Abini got married, for instance. Then I missed out a particular detail. Maybe how the woman was eventually led to the palace, or how the parents of the girl that was being married was led, and maybe I forgot. Then the producer can come in and say, sir, it's like you're forgetting this aspect of it. So these are the areas where the producers and other persons can also remember the director. But the truth of the matter is the man that is telling the story that we're going to hear from. Is that not true? So that's how the director is. The one that is telling the story. At the end of the day, it is the director's film that you are seeing. It's the one telling the story from his own perspective. Our host says something just now, that if we give a story to 5 of you, that at the end of the day you are coming up with different kind of story because of your perspective to that, the way you see life. I have my own worldview. I see life from the perspective of a Christian. Being a Christian, I see life like that. You could be a Muslim, you could be a paganist, sorry, I'm not trying to demean you, whatever, or a Hinduist or a Shintoist. Then a particular story is given to the 5 of us. From my own worldview, the way I see life, I will interpret that story. I will tell that story from my perspective. You as a Muslim will want to address that same story from your perspective, because this is the way you see life. That is why when he said, if you give story to 5 of you, are going to come up with different kind of stories. The same story, but from different perspectives, that story is being approached. Do we get that?
Yes.
Do we get that?
Yes.
Sometimes some persons, like my daughter is wearing white and black, and there's a white stripe on the shirt, and then the major cloth is black. Somebody I see you from afar, this one say, that girl will wear white shirt. The other one say, the one will wear black. 2 persons seeing one image from 2 different perspectives. There is white and there is black. That's why 9 can become 6 to somebody else. 9, 6. If you turn it around, 9 becomes 6, and 6 will become 9. Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
Right, thank you. So the envision how scenes will be shot. We were talking about scenes earlier on. The director, you want pictures in the mind, how this scene is going to be taken. He could decide that this scene should be taken either as a long shot or a master shot, or a close-up shot to elicit, to draw out emotion from somebody that's going to be watching you at the end of the day. If you are crying from a distance, nobody sees your tears. True of us, fine. But if you are crying at a very close range, people begin to see your tears. Like if I carry a camera, or the DOP takes a camera and is recording from a far distance, and you are crying, they won't even notice it. But if it takes you on a close-up shot, you will see that tears streaming down your face. And anybody that is watching you now can now identify with the pain that you are going through on that screen. Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
Any question? Question? But you don't have a 10th question. We're just dealing with one rule of the director now, which is what conceptualization. Right? Know that one then. That's one major rule. If there's no question on this, we'll go to the next one. No question? No question?
Yes, sir.
The second one is collaborating with crew members. The director does not work alone. He assembles a crew to work with. He assembles what? A crew to work with. First, the director works closely with the producer to plan and budget for the production. Do we know what a budget is? Do you know what a budget is? It's an interactive class. Please talk to me. Talk back to me. What's a budget? Anybody can help us here? Yeah.
Budgets, from my own perspective or from my own view of seeing it, is it's like you budgeted, like something like you budgeted certain amount for a job that you want to shoot.
Yes.
So that's my
Simply stated, that's it. You know, amount that is set aside. Before you budget, you must look at the whole story. What is it going to cost you to produce this movie, right? How many actors are you engaging? How many cameras are you renting? Location, costume, feeding, transportation. You put all of them together. You calculate them, everything. So how much are you paying each and everybody? They are all put together. So the director also help the producer, to plan and budget for that production. Maybe they say, okay, I want Joker P to direct this movie. So how much are we going to pay Joker P? Or we want an ROMD to be the star actor in the movie. How much are we going to pay an ROMD? Are you getting it now? Because we are going to use the ROMD now to sell, because he has a face, he has a lot of fans, that is following him. Earlier on, we were discussing how these skit makers have 5 million followers, 10 million followers. Now, if I bring a skit maker like Angel, what's it called? This guy, Mark Angel, now, who has so many followers, I put on my movie. We're talking about the business aspect of it now. Now, then he has 10 million followers. You don't expect me to pay Mark Angel 10,000 naira that I will pay somebody that is just coming into the film world. You understand me? So the director helps the producer to budget. Okay, the director say, I need so and so person to tell this story. The producer, I need so and so person. This person that I need to help to tell the story. It's okay. This major role, let's give it to an ROMD, or let's give it to a Mark Angel. This is what it's going to cost. So you build that into the budget. You getting it? It's part of the budget. We are using so and so camera. There are different kind of cameras. We are using a Mark IV. We are using a Blackmagic. We are using a red camera. All these cameras has their own prices. You also add it to it. So this is one of the rules and responsibility of the director. We get it. Okay. Said they collaborate with the cinematographer or director of photography to determine the film visual style, shot composition, lighting, and camera work. So a practical example, before we started, you saw the director doing some engagement, talking with cameramen here, telling them this is what he wants them to do. Camera placement, the shot he wants them to take, the lights, the microphone, everything. That's what the director does. I want this camera here. I want this light here. I want this sound here. That's very practical. You've seen it. So that one does not need further explanation. Is that not true? The director consults the production designer. I like this part. To create the visual environment. For instance, I want to tell a story about the Oba Palace of 14th century. I don't understand what you understand me? Am I going to use this kind of city room? Huh?
no, sir.
I'll use a Golden 5 Palace. Where am I supposed to use?
The mud.
Is it mud?
Yeah, like traditional house.
How would the house look like?
Like an old modern.
Old modern.
Say that red stuff.
It's not the rest of, just tell me the things. It's like the way the house was then. That's how it will be constructed so that they can tell the story. What of the costume? Are the Oba going to be wearing jeans and t-shirt?
No, sir.
Huh? He's going to be wearing dread.
No, sir.
All these dread are fake. These are fake dread, The real dread, they are born with it. The thing grows. You understand me now? And it's always symbolic. There's a reason. Those that used to tie, what's it called? Cowries to it. You understand? So all these are elements that involve the filmmaking process. And it costs a whole lot of money to do some of this, because some of these things you can't even get them today. So that means you are going to use it. It takes you back again to the budget. Are you getting it? Yes.
Sir, is it right for a script writer to be handled with a director? Like the script writer writes a script with our own mindset. Like she always picture the actors in the script. And at a certain point, the director now say, no, I don't want to use this actor.
Yes.
I want to use maybe an upcoming just to boost your career. Is it right for the script writer to be handled with the director?
Well, the question is a little bit complicated in the sense that now you are giving the right of telling your story to a director. You have relinquished that right to the director, so the director has the right to tell the story the way he or he wants to tell that story. But the bet here now it has to do if the scriptwriter is a producer, it can also influence one or two decisions concerning that same production. In the sense that okay, this person, like we mentioned, okay, we are using ROMD for instance. This ROMD can help me sell my story because I want to make money. The ultimate purpose is for me to make money with this film. And now we are bringing in somebody that is known. How am I going to sell it? So that can cause a quarrel. That can cause an argument. Say what? Say.
But sir, you already said the script to the director already, or the producer. You say you already said the script.
You sold it.
Yes, you sold it.
You sold the right.
Yes.
If you sold the right of your script to either a producer or an executive producer, you have no say anymore. You can only be consulted somehow. So, okay, we want a rewrite. They want to rewrite a story or a particular aspect of that story. They can consult you to come and rewrite for us. But since you have sold your right, you have no right anymore. Right? Any right that is sold is sold. But if there is a clause to that agreement that I still have a say in this matter, then you can also say one or two things concerning it. So any question, please? Any question? This class is going to be a continuous class, so we cannot exhaust everything. Yes, sir.
So can anyone be?
First and foremost, I see these areas of this crew thing as interest and passion. Any area that you are interested in and passionate about, you can be. You understand me now? Any area that you have interest in writing, have interest in production, have interest in director, and you are passionate about it, then you go and learn concerning that thing, and you become a professional as far as that thing is concerned. I just end it with this. They work with editors. Okay, let us work with editors during post-production phase to shape the final cut of the movie, ensuring that pacing, rhythm, and story coherence align with their vision. After all said and done, when the film has been shot, like what you are seeing here today, the film is being made. At the end of the day, the director will come and sit down with the editor. One, to do what? Pacing, the timing, rhythm, the movement, story coherence. You know what this means? So that everything will fall into place the way he designs it in his mind. You know, he's telling the visual story. How will you that is going to watch this movie at the end of the day, how are you going to see it? Do we get that?
Yes.
Are you sure we got that? Number 3 is that's all what is involved in casting and working with actors. It's involved in casting and working with actors. I remain really close.